everyone. Welcome to season 2 of Quib Talk. We're going to try something new this year, a format. So for everybody that thought we were a little chaotic in season 1, we're only doing our best. So we're going to talk about our lives a little bit. We're going to talk about the news a little bit, and then we're going to talk about just a random topic. So if you have random topics you want us to talk about, let us know. If you like the format, don't like the format, let us know. We're here for you. We're not. It's fine. So how was everybody's week?
Good.
Uneventful.
No,
Mine was great.
I haven't played a video game in 3 weeks.
Why?
Oh my gosh, I have something about that. That happened to me.
Because there's too much shit to do around this stupid house. I don't want to go into it.
So I can't play video games for 7 days. I got banned from PlayStation.
What?
For harassment.
Really?
Who did you harass?
And I wasn't harassing anyone. I called myself an asshole in a message. That's what I'm assuming I got banned for. I called myself an asshole while somebody else was harassing me in the messages. They called me fat and said I'm aging horribly, like a bunch of horrible things. They said the F word because the other person reported me, I guess. They said the F word and I reported them and I got a 7-day ban. I was like,
were you streaming?
No, it was in a text thing. The only thing I said was, I understand that I sound very condescending. I sound like my dad, and therefore we both just come off as assholes all the time. I don't try to be that way. It's nothing personal.
Man,
I got banned. Like, I called myself an asshole.
You're like, I took responsibility like an adult.
I don't understand how they know you're aging horribly, though.
It's someone I know in real life.
And they were being that big of a dick to you?
Yeah. Yeah, we were fighting.
She literally has a condition that makes her age beautifully. Like,
right?
What a ridiculous statement.
Here, I will read if I mean, I can't access my PlayStation stuff, so
I have just never. That is my one rule. When you're mad at somebody, especially somebody you care about that you have a relationship with in real life,
well,
like
have a relationship with them.
Well, I mean, it's a relationship.
Like a
whether you have, it's a friendship. It's like, you know what I mean.
They say, and I quote, "And for fuck's sake, quit wallowing in self-pity." Like, I've been doing great. I'm thriving right now.
Yeah, I was going to say.
But wallowing in self-pity and depression and exercise and be healthy. It's bad enough age is kicking your ass as you do so without grace. Like, I'm almost 40, people. Like, I'm not saying, like, egotistically that I'm some beautiful, wonderful person. But if I look at the other people I went to school with, like, a lot of them look like.
Is this the same person from Facebook?
Maybe. So it's bad enough age is kicking your ass as you do so without grace. You looked like a walking heart attack the last time I saw you. You have bad health as it is. Lose some weight. Now fuck all the way off. You're a waste of friendship.
Like, Jesus Christ. What even brought this on?
No, I need to know something. I need to know. You either have really toxic friends.
He's very toxic.
But is this? I'm not going to go into
pissed. He's pissed because I haven't been talking to him, and he says I'm a terrible friend.
Is this that person that said we used to be really good friends, and now? Yes. Okay, now I'm not surprised. Now I thought this was another person that talks to me this way.
No, it's the same one.
Okay.
Absolutely insane that you're being just like attacked like this, like.
And it's literally because I don't take the time to talk to this person anymore. Y'all know how busy I am. I'm fucking busy all the time.
Not to
mention, don't know what to say.
Well, not to mention that, like, we've seen the messages, so it's like.
Is this after being blocked on Facebook?
He blocks me on Facebook, so he, fictitiously created a conversation between me and him and sent to another friend of mine.
Right. Yeah.
And I had the proof that wasn't what was really said. So then, because I was blocked and the other person was blocked and we couldn't respond to that, I was like, how dare you make up a fake conversation to lie about me? Like, grow up. Like, don't do that. But I sent him that on PlayStation because I didn't have any other way to contact him.
Yeah.
His phone number changes all the time. So I don't know what his number is because he's
So when you get
Been in
blocked
jail
from
for drugs.
PlayStation,
So,
the
you know,
PS
he's one of those people.
when you get blocked from the PlayStation Network, does that mean you literally can't log into your PlayStation?
Yeah. For 7 days.
Like they can stop you from even being able to play your PlayStation. That is
Yeah. So if you get
Can you
banned
appeal that?
enough, I don't know, it's just 7 days. And I've been so busy, I haven't been playing that much anyway. So I was just like, I'll just write it out. But if you get banned enough, they can revoke your PlayStation access. And so, like all my digital games, I could lose all of them.
You
And
know,
I've got
well, okay.
thousands of dollars invested in my
So
PlayStation.
you said it's only 7 days, but that seems excessive to me for this being your first offense, unless it's not your first offense. But I have
It's
to
the first one
imagine
I've
that it
ever
is.
known about.
Yeah.
Like I don't ever harass anyone.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Only
Like,
other thing that I can think of I could have gotten in trouble for is, so in my gaming crew, I'm a leader in it. Like I'm an elder. I'm, you know, one of the highest ranking people. And I'm the only female that's a high ranking one that actively plays and communicates with everybody in the crew. So when there's drama in the crew, I try to help when there's females involved. You
right.
know, so that there's kind of a female mediator to, and I'm a very rational female mediator. If I feel like the woman is in the wrong, I will absolutely call that out. Like I'm very, you know, unbiased. And so I had said to them, to another female, I don't know what your attitude is for, but I would suggest you check it before toss it in my direction, madam. So I don't know, maybe I got reported for that one.
But
But I
even
mean,
still, like the things that people say on there and don't get banned for, and I mean, even Facebook, they start out with like a 24-hour ban, and they do a 24-hour ban like for a couple times, and then they're like, okay, now you get 3 days. Like 7 days
Yeah.
seems excessive.
Right? I was like, I don't ever remember being reported for anything.
Well,
Like I don't harass anyone.
dude, I know you're obsessed with Lindsey. You're a piece of shit. I'm sorry. Okay, go ahead. Get help.
I wonder if that was, you remember last year when you got those weird messages that we thought were from your ex? Like, I don't remember what they were, but they were like threatening
Maybe.
ones. I wonder if it's the same person.
Probably.
I'm just baffled. I am baffled.
Psycho.
Yeah, that's what, like, it's so
But
weird.
he basically, for the readers who haven't seen the messages between me and this person, he basically says I've become fake and all I care about is attention from people and just a bunch of crap. And you can ask Megan, who knows me. That's not me at all. Like I'm
No.
very real. This is who I am. The biggest difference is he and I became friends when I was in my early 20s and I was in an abusive marriage then. I was a totally different person then. Legitimately, I was a different person. I was in a really shitty place in my life. And I'm not that person anymore. But I've told him numerous times, like, I've gotten older and matured. It's not that I've changed as a person. It's just that I'm more mature. I've grown up. I'm
And like you have different things in your life. Like even my best friends, like I don't see them as much as I once did. I literally, I just went, I checked our messages because I messaged her recently and like we're in a group chat together, which I don't count as the same as like talking directly, except for like our group chat, we're all talking constantly, so that counts. But like I checked and I was like, I haven't talked to her, just like me and her, in 3 weeks, and it didn't even phase. Like we both say things in the group chat, but it's not like talking or anything. So it was like a weird thing where I was like, and neither of us cared. Like we messaged and it was fine because we're adults and like adults have lives and are busy.
Right.
I'm blessed to have good friends like that. Like I'm a hermit as is, and all my good friends understand that. You know what I mean? Like
well, any good friend is going to be understanding to that.
Right. Well, and it's just like we can go a month or two. But well, like my dudes that I play video games with on the computer, like they just message like, "Hey Gary, you getting on tonight? Like we miss you." That's all they say. You know, and then I don't get on, and then they'll, you know, maybe a couple days go by. Hey, dude, you getting on tonight? We miss you. You know, it's not like, hey, dick.
Yeah.
You're aging like a piece of shit.
Right.
You ugly fat.
You're like, you know,
and then he's expecting me to apologize.
Yeah.
I'm like,
nah, dude.
That's the craziest part. Is like he says,
why would I apologize to you? I've nothing to apologize for. Like because I have kids and a job and a life, like I'm not apologizing for that, you worthless piece of shit.
But like he says those things and he expects you to like go running like, oh, I'm so sorry. I can't believe that you think those things about me.
Oh,
I'm so sorry. How can I make this up? Like, absolutely not. Like, if
so
that's how you think
my
about me,
response to that toxic one was, I'm actually not having any issues with my depression, and I've lost 45 pounds, so my health is better than it's been probably in my life. You're delusional. If you're trying to get at me, I'm not like those mindless little girls that you mess with. Your view of me means nothing to me. And then did
Yeah.
like rolling eyes. Like, I legitimately don't care. Like, everyone in the entire world could say I'm a fat, ugly piece of shit, and I'd be like, I don't care. I don't
That's what-
care. That's fine. If you think that, that's on you. That's your thoughts
would
that you're
rip my heart
toxifying,
out.
not mine.
That
Like,
would
I don't
rip my
care.
heart out. Not gonna lie.
it takes
This
so
is
I
all
probably
much.
should not be on the internet.
I am just narcissistic enough that other people's views just don't matter to me.
Yeah, like me too. And it used to get to me, and I used to like take all that stuff, and like nobody's even ever said anything like that to me. So it's just like the internal of like, I saw an article today that was like, or a video where somebody was like, the girls that we were told were fat in the 2000s, and it was like Lindsay Lohan, Jessica Simpson, and Nicole Richie. And I looked at them and I went, oh yeah, that's why I have body issues, because they told me these like size 4 girls were fat, and I,
Right.
was an absolute cow. So like I took all those like internal things and I was like, oh, this is horrible. And then I hit like my late 20s and I was just like, why am I so exhausted of this all the time? Like, why am I trying to, like, literally nobody has come up to me and been like, at least nobody that I care about has come up to me and be like, you're ugly, you're horrible. I can't believe you do this. Like, I only get positive feedback. So it's like, why am I doing this to myself?
Yeah.
So I just stopped caring about what other people said. And I'm like, if you don't like it,
Well,
like,
I think my lack of care as far as like my body image and stuff goes is, I feel like I've talked about it before. My mother was extremely toxic. She was one of those tiny little skeletons, and she thought all women should be. And I've always just been a larger person. Like, even when I'm skinny, I'm still a big person. Like,
yeah.
when there's no fat on my body. I
I think-
remember being 115 pounds, and I'm 5'10". So I'm
Yeah, you're
close to
taller
6
than
foot
I
tall.
always thought you were.
I was a skeleton, and she told me then at 115 pounds that I was too fat to take to Walmart. Like, that's how toxic my mom was. Like, I'm
To
talking
Walmart, to Target,
yes,
maybe.
right, right. So after years of therapy, I have worked through that. And if I feel like now that I'm able to get over the stuff my mother said to me, there
Yeah.
is nobody else in this world that could possibly say something to me that's going to hurt me. Like, there's nothing. Like, it's just not going to, you know what I mean? Like, if you can get through
Yeah.
your own mom being that way, you can get through anybody being that way. Because, that's the person you're supposed to be able to look up to and, turn to and all that. So it's just like, fuck you. I don't give a shit.
That's what, like, the only things that I actually like have found, because people were saying like, if somebody's only attacking like your physical appearance, don't
They
pay
have
them any
nothing else.
mind.
They don't
I
have
was
anything
like,
else to attack.
yeah,
for,
I was like,
so.
I'm like, attack my character or get out.
Yeah,
Like,
like come up with some better things.
I'm like,
know what,
I'm
I
sure
on.
that I have worse traits.
You know what I don't understand about me is, you read comments on social media, and like if it's like a trigger subject or whatever, and I usually don't comment or anything like that. But what's weird is someone can be, I remember commenting once, I don't ever hardly leave comments, but I left a comment, and of course I'm not a dick about it.
So
And
you think.
this guy, no, I'm not. This
I
guy
know.
this guy gets on, and he made like he's basically just telling me that my opinion was wrong, blah blah blah. And then I just, normally in that situation, when you comment back, it becomes this like meh, 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 meh. But I commented back, and then it became LOLs and stuff after that. I'm like, am I not good enough to fight with? Like, nobody wants to fight with me. Like, I don't know if I'm just really good, I don't know if I'm really good at wording stuff or what, but it was more like, no, dude, I was just, I just disagree with you, but it's cool. You have your right to your own opinion. But most of the time when people do that, they're like, you're a dick. You're a piece of shit. You don't know what the hell you're talking about, blah, blah, blah. But when people interact with me, it's never, it's never hostile. And I'm always like,
I'm very passive aggressive, and I can
about
really
me
get at
that
people. Like, I can be really mean.
See, I did have one recently that like did kind of get to me, and it wasn't even like it was a bad post or something. So I'm in a tragic name group where people just like post like the horrible names that people name their children on here. And somebody posted about Megan, but they posted the spelling it was spelled as Meaghan, which I know is an actual spelling of it, but it's the most like there's so many letters in it. So that's why I commented because it was a Megan that posted it, and I'm a Megan, so I like posted in the group, and I'm like, yeah, I don't understand why people do that. And then like everybody just came at me and they're like, that's the classic traditional, I think it's Irish or Scottish like spelling of it, and how dare you, and blah blah blah, and it's a cultural name. And it was like, calm down everybody.
Calm down, Meaghan.
I'm just saying that there's so many extra letters. Meaghan, like come on.
Hey, come on.
Yeah.
That was comedy gold, guys.
Yeah, and so
I said calm down, Meaghan.
I know, I heard
Oh,
you.
Oh, it just wasn't funny. Okay.
No.
Okay.
But yeah, like I turned off notifications, and then when I checked it like a couple days later, like a lot of people were like, no, that's a crazy way to spell it in this day and age. Like, yes, that may have been the classic spelling, but like currently it's a tragedy.
Yeah.
And or they call it a tragedy. But that's what the name group is. It's like you have those like weird names where they're like I can't even think of them, but like they add extra letters and they add like hyphens and weird, just like the craziest things. And you're like, that's not a name for a child. Like, don't do this to your kids.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, like the social media comments, like people are just mean for no reason.
We could talk about y'all's names and like Lindsey. Celebrity first comes to your mind when you say Lindsey, or a Lindsey celebrity.
Lohan, I guess.
You couldn't
Lindsey.
do it. Oh.
That one that's in Fleetwood Mac.
Oh, Buckingham?
Yeah.
All right, Megan. Yeah. Celebrity Megan.
Fox.
Okay. And then Gary.
Coleman
or Busey.
Yeah.
Hey, my name sucks, and there's a reason why it's almost extinct. Did you know there was only like 500 people named?
I like your name. I named a mouse Gary.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's a cute, shitty animal name.
How is it? He was a great mouse. All right. So in this segment, I'm just going to read you just news titles, and you guys can tell me if you want to talk about them or not. Okay. A Serbian tennis star, Novak Djokovic, was forced out of Australia after he lost a deportation hearing because of COVID. Okay. Eruption of undersea volcano in Tonga. Caused a tsunami warning across the West Coast and other countries.
I feel like that's the whole story.
It really is. The only interesting part about it, like I just recorded all the news stories that I saw. The only interesting part was that undersea volcano eruptions don't usually cause tsunamis. They're usually caused by earthquakes. So it is a little bit concerning that, undersea volcanoes now cause tsunamis. Yeah. So this one's more of a fun one. Are you guys familiar with the blind mystic Baba Venga from Bulgaria?
Nope.
All right. So she is a blind mystic from Bulgaria who was alive from 1911 to 1996. She's been blind since childhood and is said to have clairvoyant powers, but they released her predictions for 2022. So
okay, yeah, I want to hear this one.
Yeah, so she is
believed happen this year.
Yeah, so she is believed to have predicted 9/11, which the story for that one's a little iffy to me, because they said that she predicted that it would happen in 1989, but it didn't happen until 2001. So like that one I'm a little iffy on, but she also predicted the rise of the Islamic State, Brexit, and she also predicted that the 44th president of the United States would be Black, and he was Barack Obama. So she is predicting that a lethal virus is going to be coming out of Serbia due to the deep ice melts. So like this, yeah. So like we're not done.
I can't handle another pandemic.
I know. So they're saying that because of climate change and the ice caps melting, all of these viruses that have been buried deep down in the ice are going to come to life and kill us all. She also said that an alien guided asteroid is headed toward Earth. It's also important to note that like please remember she died in 1996. Like she made a shit ton of predictions and then just died. So
She was like,
this
I
is
ain't
all,
staying for this shit. Like, I'm
so like this is all
out.
stuff that she was like,
Here's what's
this
gonna
is going to
happen. I know that, so I'm getting the fuck out of here.
So those two, she just said were coming. They didn't have any specific timeline. She did, however, predict that in 2022, India is going to have dark and challenging times. Specifically, she foresaw temperatures rising up to 122 degrees, locust plagues that are going to wipe out crops, and they're going to cause a great famine. So like India is going to go through it. And then the last
like
one,
a negative Nancy.
well, I mean, look where we're at. And then the last one she predicted was, she said that future humans will have trouble separating fantasy from reality, and that humans will be drawn into a downward spiral over their obsession with smart tech, which is impressive for a woman that died in 1996, saying that people in the future are going to be obsessed with their technology. And
we already are.
Yeah.
But like that stuff wasn't around in 1996. Like I just saw the other day, somebody was like, if you were born before 1998, you're older than Google. And I was like, oh my God. Can you imagine? So that's her predictions for the future. Super fun.
That one was interesting.
Yeah. Ghislaine Maxwell is ending her fight to conceal the names of 8 men associated with Jeffrey Epstein. So she's being sued by Virginia. I can't pronounce her last name, but the girl who accused Prince Andrew of sexual assault. I think she was a minor at the time too, but I'm not 100% on that. But you know, Ghislaine Maxwell was previously saying, I won't release these names. Absolutely not. No way in hell. She was just convicted to 65 years in jail for her part in this role. And now she goes, yeah, I'll go ahead and release the name. But the interesting part about this story is that even though she said she's willing to release the name, a judge has to approve it. So there's a judge, and her name is Loretta Preska, who is the one who can say, yes, we will allow her to release the names, or no, we won't. So like there's still the possibility that we won't get to know who these high profile people were.
Do we want to
Why would they not want to?
It's a very political
I don't give a shit.
Hey,
yeah, no, we don't, but the people that are in power, like I saw an article
The
recently.
powers that be.
Yeah, I saw an article recently talking about the Clinton presidency and how Bill Clinton had on his visitor logs for like the first 2 years, Jeffrey Epstein brought 8 girls with him. 4 of them were his girlfriends, and 4 of them are unknown women, and to the White House in the Oval Office. And so like people were like, because the visitor logs for the president are public, so people are like, who are these women, and why was Jeffrey Epstein, a known pedophile, bringing girls to the White House? So that was, so yeah, so she's willing to release 8 names, and she might not get to. And she also is going for a retrial because juror number 50 is a child sex abuse survivor and did not disclose that information. So her lawyers are saying that it wasn't a fair trial because he didn't disclose that
50?
information. Huh?
I thought there was only 12 jurors.
Well, there is, but
when they get called for jury duty, they each have a number.
And they call like hundreds of people, and then they whittle them down, but you keep your original number. So like he was juror number 50, but he was only one of 12 that actually saw the case. But they're saying that it was biased because he didn't do that.
Me, I think it's even better to have someone that's went through that, so that you're getting representation for the victims.
A normal person, absolutely.
Yeah,
however,
but they're talking about in a defense situation.
Yeah, so the defense
Like
had
fucking
they known.
How about you don't harm others, and then you don't have to worry about it?
Yeah, so he did an interview. This juror did an interview with the Daily Mail, which is a British publication, and they pointed out that on his questionnaire to be eligible to sit on this, question 48 was like literally, were you a victim of child sex abuse? And he said, and he was like, oh, I don't recall seeing that question. And so he didn't disclose any of this during the trial or anything, but in the deliberations, he told his fellow jurors that he was like a survivor of child sex abuse. So it was like just a crazy thing where it's like her conviction could possibly be overturned because of this, because her defense team is saying that they would have never allowed him to sit on the jury had they known.
I say we set up a Deadpool.
A what?
A Deadpool.
I don't know what that is.
That's where the Jelaine Maxwell or whatever her name is. She's gonna be dead. You watch. By the end of this, she'll be dead.
Oh yeah, there's no way.
Oh,
the
a
second that she said she
pool
was
on
gonna
when
get-
A
she-
Deadpool, yeah. Like
Okay,
Deadpool.
I was thinking of Deadpool like comic type stuff. So
Well,
like,
that's what
know.
his name comes from. It's from a Deadpool.
I don't know that. I've never watched it, even though I have the comic background, and our theme is comic because of
Yeah.
Gary mostly.
the
I don't know anything about that.
yeah, the entire like internet, as soon as they found out that she was going to release these names, they were like, oh, she's definitely dead.
Yeah.
Like they're gonna find her hanging in her cell from a suicide.
She should go
tomorrow.
ahead and have the names
She's gonna
released
suicide
to
herself.
someone that can release on her behalf that's unknown.
I think it's so crazy that a
Like
judge
do a
has to
private
approve it.
interview.
Like,
And then if it's approved, then they release that interview. But that way it's recorded already.
like honestly, if I were her at this point, I'd just scream out my cell window.
Yeah.
Just like all day long, just screaming names. Because like
I'd
these
be
are
writing
rich
letters to
Yeah,
tons
rich,
of people releasing those
powerful
names.
politicians, all that stuff, and like they just potentially can't be released. Absolutely insane. So that's the thing that I'm gonna be watching, because her trial did not get the publicity it deserved. Like we watched the entire Kyle Rittenhouse trial live on TV, but this woman who's accused of assisting in child sex abuse for years, we get a couple court photos. No way.
Well, it's probably because some of those victims are still alive.
What about that
That could have something to
Well,
do with it.
Kyle
What about
Rittenhouse,
that?
his victims are too, but you're
Yeah,
not allowed to call them
They
victims.
died.
No,
What about-
one died, one's still alive.
Oh,
But they're criminals. So
the physical therapist for the Olympic what was his name?
or it could also be because maybe some of those victims may still be minors.
say that name.
possible.
You guys
Yeah.
know it. The N
Hope
starts
not.
with an N. Doctor.
Oh, yeah, the gymnast one. I don't know his
Yes.
name.
Oh
Oh, Nestor, I think.
no.
Sure?
It's close. That's close. I'm pretty sure.
All right. Either way, the gymnast.
talking
Driving me nuts. But anyways, yeah, it was highly televised.
Yeah. It's because of the clientele that Jeffrey Epstein said. Like they've shown his flight logs.
Because it's
He was friends
Hollywood.
with the Clintons. He was friends with the Trumps. He was friends with a bunch of Congress people. Like they've all been to the island, and that's the issue. Is like these people have the power to block it. All right, moving on.
But that doesn't mean all those people were going to that island for that purpose. Because
No,
like
it
I know
doesn't.
some pretty sketchy people, but I didn't know that they were sketchy when I was first friends with them.
No, it doesn't. But that's the thing, is like nobody's willing to talk about it. So like that's where the issue comes in. So it's
Yeah.
everybody's guilty until proven innocent, which all right. A Japanese woman gives up her baby after discovering the sperm donor she slept with 10 times had lied about his nationality and education in order to have sex with her.
Nah, I feel like that's common.
Snow fell in the Sahara Desert after temperatures plummeted. Now, this one, I mean, that's basically the whole story. The only part of this article that I found interesting, because this is not an isolated incident, this does happen. So they said this is the 5th time in 42 years, which, like, okay, 5th time in 42 years. The interesting part, these are the years it has happened: 1979, 2016, 2018, 2021, 2022. So I was like,
There's a
okay.
huge gap.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, it's only happened 5 times in 42 years, but also it's happened almost
Four
every
times.
year
Four of
since
those times in the last
2016.
5 years.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
so I was like, I think that might be a little bit more concerned. Now, this is the part of the Sahara Desert that is right on the entrance. So it is surrounded by mountains. So again, it is possible for it to happen. But the fact that it has happened 5 times in 5 years is concerning. This one's specific to you guys, though. Rivercrest School District in Wilson, Arkansas is proposing a 4-day school week.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, so I saw it on your
Yeah, I
local
saw.
page.
Oh, yeah. As I say, I saw a bunch of people. I like argued with people. I didn't really argue, but I put my views, and we know how people like my views. So
Yeah. Yeah, so
I had a
they're
few
saying
angry
that they want
reacts.
they're gonna start the day 15 minutes earlier and end it 30 minutes later.
I guess I don't know. Your view.
But they want to start the week on a Tuesday, which I don't agree with. I think that they should still start on Monday, but like do Friday, because with everybody
Because
working
everybody
from
hates
home-
Monday.
Well, I know, but like if you think about the 4-day work week, it only works if the parents that work also have a 4-day work week. And it's going to be a lot easier for you to get a Friday to work from home than it is for you to get a Monday to work from home. So I that part was the part that I was like, I don't know. This one I don't
This is
care about.
Arkansas, Megan. People don't
Nobody
work from
works.
home in Arkansas.
Well,
No,
no,
they
that
either
is
don't work or they
mind-boggling
don't
Well, but
how-
that's
work
okay,
from
so-
home.
So that's the thing too, then, because then you have the people that like now they have to find a full another day of daycare and nobody makes any money, and who's going to pay for this?
That's why I gave this suggestion of they offer a credit to high school students to run a child care day.
Oh,
And
that'd
it
be
gives
cool.
them credit for parent, like, because you can take a parenting class.
Yeah,
They
I
get
did. I
that
did
because they're
parenting.
running the child care thing.
Yeah,
So
we
they
did.
volunteer to do that. They, the school lets them use the gym or something like that. And it gives all those kids that are staying there those social skills that they miss out on because their recesses are so much shorter than they used to be.
Yeah,
So, they get that interaction. It's just a day to go to school, but get to play the whole day.
yeah, that could work. I did a
I think
parenting
it would be
class
great.
in high school, and they did daycare, and it was great.
Yeah.
So a Virginia woman is charged with threatening to bring every single gun loaded and ready if her children have to wear masks at school. I know you said you don't want to talk about COVID. That title was just very insane.
She
And
should
she
be
said-
arrested. That's
She
terroristic
was
threatening.
arrested.
Oh,
She
okay.
was arrested. She was released on a $5,000 bond, and then she released a statement that she said, "That's not what I meant. I meant it fictitiously. I would never bring that." So it's like, then why would you say it? Why would you threaten? Like, guns to school is like the hottest topic of like red alert. Why would you even say
Yeah.
that? No, for masks. So, the board
Yeah,
of
there's nothing
education.
insane there.
Yeah. So the Board of Education voted because the issue over the masks was that the governor of the state said parents have the right to choose. And so the school district was like, no, that's not safe. So obviously people are upset, but they did vote that parents have the right to choose. I'm gonna be honest. I don't like the parents have a right to choose, and only because I think
That
it
puts
should be up
other
to the
kids at
children.
risk.
Well, it puts other kids at risk, but I think it should be up to the children, because if you ask the children, most of them will wear masks. But like
Yeah.
these parents are like, my child won't wear a mask. How dare you? Blah, blah, blah. And then they go to
Where
school.
most of the kids are like, I don't care to wear a
I don't
mask. It's
care.
not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
I don't know why
And-
they just don't. I mean, I've heard they're talking about closing schools early this year, but I don't know why they just don't go pure virtual. I mean, I understand some
It's-
parents can't be home. I
That's
guess
why it's because of the parents. They said
Well, and there's a lot of
articles-
kids that live in poverty and they
Oh, and the
don't get
meals.
fed except when they're at school.
that's true.
So this one is just a one sentence one. Yaki, a female, I don't know how you pronounce it, but it's a monkey, lives in a nature preserve in Japan and violently overthrew the alpha male of the group to become the first female leader. And she is now queen to 677 monkeys. So
Wow.
well done, ma'am.
That's crazy. That's actually pretty interesting.
And
At
I
first, when
did-
you started reading it, I'm thinking, I don't give a shit about some monkey. And then it's like, all right, okay, 670.
And,
You guys
well,
think
and the thing too, it said she violently overthrew him.
Yeah.
So like she full attacked him. And it wasn't an article, it was just a quick post on one of my pages. But I just thought that was a cool, fun story.
That just made me think. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
I don't have anything. Go ahead.
Well, I was wondering, do you think animals can progress like humans?
Yes, I think we are the lowest form of intelligence when it comes to progression.
We know, like we know all these about animals, like the monkeys and the like lions. You know, like the male goes out and or the woman, was it the woman? The
Women hunt.
female goes out
Males
and hunt.
Also, males in a lot of species
Sure.
also fuck each other unless it's for procreation because
Well, I'm
they
just wondering if that
can't stand
type of
their
shit
species.
that you see in National Geographic and stuff, if that stuff could change over time, and like the whole like, you know, like for instance, you know, dolphins are the only other animal that has sex for pleasure. You know, like if maybe all of a sudden elephants start having sex for pleasure out of nowhere. You know what I mean?
I don't
Just
think
like
that they do though.
all the dogs around here, it's just a nonstop orgy.
Yeah.
Anyways, carry on.
So Alabama is about to debut a new way to execute people, nitrogen suffocation. So they are essentially going to take an oxygen mask and they are going to replace it with oxygen or nitrogen, and you die that way. It was approved in 2018, and inmates have to opt into it, but it is currently pushed back their rollout for it because there is an inmate, Matthew Reeves, who was supposed to be executed on the 27th. He has an IQ in the high 60s, low 70s, and was found functionally illiterate 2 months prior to right now. But the jail gave him the forms for like his execution and we're just like, good luck. And so his lawyers are claiming he didn't understand that he could opt into this. So currently he has a stay of execution while they look into his treatment, I guess. But yeah, the new form of execution is nitrogen suffocation.
I think you ought to die the same way you killed people.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a weird.
I miss the firing squad.
The firing squad is an odd one.
Hanging
I was
in
gonna
the
say, I
middle
think
of
in a couple
town.
states you can still be hung. Like a lot of these have weird options that you can like opt into. So
Oh, if I was going to be executed as an inmate, if I had options of which way, I would pick the most public type of execution possible. Beheading, something like, something
Yeah.
that's dramatic. And
well, they did do beheadings up until I want to say the 70s or the 80s. Like I want to say the last person was beheaded like that recently. But yeah, the firing squad is the most interesting to me because like everybody aims, but only one person is live bullet, so that you don't have that guilt to carry around.
yeah,
Absolutely insane. All right, the last story is my favorite. M&Ms are changing to become more inclusive, and people are naturally super upset about it. Weirdly enough, I'm one of them. The biggest change, it says that the characters are getting modern makeovers and more nuanced personalities. The one that people are the most upset about, they're changing the slutty green M&M. They are
like the character.
Yes, they took away her go-go boots, so she's no longer wearing boots. She has sneakers now, and they're making her less slutty. So the sex positive icon is now going to be just like a feminist icon, which great. But again, we all love the slutty green M&M. So they
well,
said,
I mean, being slutty per se to me is you taking control of your own sexuality. Like
but
I
they're
feel that's
toning that
empowering in
down.
itself because it's saying, you know what, I'll sleep with whoever the hell I want to, and you
Yeah.
have no choice in that. So,
And that's why
other than
people
them
loved
saying
her.
yes or no, obviously.
All it is just a overabundance of confidence.
Yeah. So like that's why people love the green M&M, and Mars is like, we're gonna tone it back, and now she's all about her friends. It's like, no, she was unapologetically like pro her sexuality.
That's what people loved about her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they said other changes include red and green having green and brown having a more women helping women vibe, because in the previous like iterations they were seen as more rivals, which I do like that they're going to be friends now, which is nice. But again, let them both be sex positive. They also said red is going to turn down how bossy he is, and orange is going to acknowledge his anxiety. Then they announced the characters will have an updated tone of voice that is more inclusive, welcoming, and unifying, while remaining rooted in their signature gesture.
So yellow is not going to sound like a dumbass anymore.
You know what? They didn't say anything about yellow, but I also included some fun tweets that people made on this subject. So one of them said, "Will somebody just tell me which M&Ms I'm allowed to be attracted to?" Someone else said, "We already got gay M&Ms. They're called Skittles." Don't worry, folks. They won't be changing the core element of M&M's mythos, the implication that they feed on each other for sustenance, which honestly is a very important part of this because in all of their commercials,
I
they
want
do feed
M&Ms
each
now.
other. Yeah. And then the last one says, "I will miss her sexy little green boots. We never asked for a sexualized piece of candy, but now they're taking her away from us," and rip slutty green M&M. So
I mean, in all actuality, I don't really care one way or the other. Like, just give me some M&Ms so I can eat them. I don't really care
I
what.
don't give a shit about the ads. I just keep the
Yeah.
M&Ms.
Yeah.
I don't ever see the ads anymore because I don't have cable, but the fact that they if they don't leave her as just like a super sexualized version of just like being super positive and confident, I will be upset.
I didn't even know she had green boots.
I thought she was wearing heels. I didn't realize she was wearing boots.
Yeah, I thought it was heels also, but I
Yeah.
don't really think about it that much.
No. M&M's like their core personalities are pretty low on my list. But yeah, those were the stories in the news last week. So some interesting ones, some weird ones. It's a strange world we live in.
So now it's time to spin, spin, spin the wheel of mediocrity. All right, sleep. We're talking about sleep this week.
All right. I've slept terrible this week. I normally sleep really well because of my adjustable bed, but like this week, I just can't get comfortable. It's terrible. And I'm trying to like find the appropriate like pillow setup, which is weird. Like, Lindsey, you've got an adjustable bed. Like, I can't.
I like it just slightly elevated on my legs and just slightly elevated on my back, just barely, just a little bit, like
Okay.
maybe a 1 to 2 inch thing, just so that it makes it when I'm on my side, my hip kind of sinks in between them just a little bit. So that
Okay.
then I feel like my body's more level because my hip can go down in there.
Yeah, my acid reflux, I've got it up like so high, and that's where my issue comes in because it's sitting up. So I'm like, I can't use a pillow, but I want my pillow. So I'm just like, but yeah, I'm having that issue right now.
So back whenever I got my COVID vaccine, the first shot that I got, I had 3 nights of nightmares. And I don't have nightmares. Like, I don't have nightmares. I had one nightmare when I was like 5. And that's literally the only nightmare I could ever remember. And it was where I was probably 4 or 3 because I was starting Head Start. And I had a dream that I was put in a machine and they were stamping stars on all the little kids' heads. So, so I was terrified that that's what happened when you went to Head Start. So I was really scared to go to Head Start. That's the only real nightmare I can remember having that I like woke up from and be like, oh my God, that was terrible. Until I got my vaccination and I had 3 nights of it waking me up like in tears.
Do you remember
nightmares.
what they were?
I don't remember what they were now, but it was like, like night terrors, like really bad ones. Well, last night I woke up like that and I don't even remember. I do remember what it was. I'm actually not going to say it, but it was of a friend who I dreamt that their child got COVID and passed away.
Oh my God.
And then they were going to give themselves a blood test for COVID instead
that
of,
bastard from PlayStation. Sorry, go ahead.
No, he doesn't have any kids. They were going to take their own blood and check it to see if they had COVID as well right after their child died. And instead they just injected themselves with a ton of air and killed themselves. And I woke up in a panic from that. And like,
would that be a painful death?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I thought so. I think it's quick, but I think it is painful.
But I woke up in a panic from that, thinking that my friend had done this. And like almost hyperventilating. And I was like, I've got COVID. The only other time I woke up like this was when I had my COVID vaccination. So now, even though I have no symptoms of COVID whatsoever, I'm not sick at all. I'm completely convinced that whenever I went to town yesterday, I caught COVID, and here in the next week, I'm going to have COVID. So if
Ooh,
I
that would be-
do,
Have you
if
ever
I
had it?
do,
I
I don't
haven't.
know. I've never been diagnosed with
Oh,
it,
that's
but there was
right. 'Cause
I got super
Anthony
sick
had
at
it
the
when you were-
very well, I got super sick when the end of February, beginning of March when COVID first hit. And I had been to Houston right before, like the week before that. Got super duper sick, and it was before everywhere had tons of tests to be able to get tested for it. So you had to have a fever over 103 for them to test you.
My
They went and
ex-wife's convinced that we had it in December of 19.
That's what
Yeah.
a lot of people are saying too, and that's what. And it's funny too
because
'cause, like,
everybody
all
was
these-
sick and they were negative for
Yeah.
everything. They were negative for
all-
flu, negative for strep. So now I'm convinced that my night terror last night is because I've caught COVID. So we'll see.
It's not a big deal if you did. I mean, it sucks for everybody in the house, but I think everybody needs to get it. Anyways,
Get
go
it
ahead.
over with.
Just get it over with. Yeah.
Well, so here's the issue with doing that is that it still exists. So like even if you get it, like the people that were getting Delta, they can still get Omicron. So it doesn't matter because
But
there's
it
people.
still is going to help build your immunity, though.
But so does the vaccine and the boosters.
Yeah.
So I don't
Yeah,
think
no.
that there's been any
Natural immunity is way better than vaccinated immunity.
See, and they're saying that that's not true. Like a lot of the scientists are saying that there's no proof that natural immunity to it is any better, especially with the variants.
Well,
and
the
that
thing
a
with
lot of-
vaccines is they build up your natural immunity because it's introducing the dead form of the virus. Typically,
Yeah.
that's how it works. So that your body recognizes it, and then if you catch it, your body fights it off quicker. It doesn't let it take over your body because it recognizes it immediately instead of it taking, it starts spreading and your cells are being taken over by this virus, and before your body recognizes, hey, this is something we should fight, and then you're super sick at that point because you've already got it like full force.
Yeah.
So that's what a vaccine is essentially supposed to do, is build up your natural immunity.
Okay.
That's how it works from my understanding.
But yeah,
I'm not a
like
scientist, but I am an engineer now.
but yeah, like they're saying like the people that are doing like COVID parties now are actually getting like really sick and like a
Wait,
couple of
COVID
them
party?
died.
Like they're
like
intentionally
the chickenpox
Like-
parties. So they're
or
infecting
the
themselves.
smallpox parties.
Yeah. Are smallpox parties a thing? Oh.
Yeah.
AIDS parties where it's at.
Hell yeah, go big or go home.
Yeah,
But
like,
then you all
yeah.
have it, and y'all can all just sleep together because you ain't got to worry about
Yeah.
it. Everybody's already got it.
That's true. Yeah. But yeah, so they're saying that like those parties are terrible. Gary, how do you sleep?
Like a baby.
Does it take you a while to fall asleep?
Hell no. People are amazed at how fast I fall asleep. I literally can be asleep, and if I lay down and it's that time, like if it's night time, I can probably be out in, I'd say, a minute and a half, 2 minutes.
He's conditioned
saw-
himself though, from
I
all the
was gonna
people
say-
that were living in his house. He got used to noises
And I
and
sleep
people,
like
and
a
so now he's just
rock.
like,
There ain't no way.
I'm
to
out.
I just saw an article about how the military teaches their like soldiers to sleep because they have to be able to sleep immediately in anything. So they said what you have to do is it's guaranteed you can fall asleep in 2 minutes. You lay down, you have your arms out at the side, and then you start at the top and you shut every part of your body down. So you think you're like eyes shut, breathing normalized, calm, and you just go all the way down, and then you like you're like think about being warm. So when you think about being warm, and then you just drift right
I'm gonna
off.
try it. I saw you shared the article with us. I was busy at the time
Yeah.
though, so I didn't click it, and I keep
I-
meaning to go back and click it.
I'd almost
started
bet
to-
money that I have a hint of narcolepsy. I'm serious. Like if I start yawning, like if you guys notice, like if I yawn and then I yawn and like my eyes start to water, I literally could just go.
I was watching the video and I was trying to do it along, and I was like, oh no, I'm falling asleep. So I was like, maybe this does work.
Did your kids watch The Wiggles?
Oh,
Because there was
hell
the
no.
one on there that had narcolepsy. One of the Wiggles. I don't know if he did in real life, but on the show he did. Oh, Lily was obsessed with The Wiggles.
Everybody was obsessed with the Wiggles.
We
Wasn't it
watched
like a huge
real,
Especially
controversy when
real
they
mothers.
kid
broke
shows
up?
in this house.
Yeah.
I never was, but I remember them being very popular with the moms.
The Wiggles groupies.
I didn't do PBS or Disney kid shows.
What did your children watch?
I don't know what channel
We
Wiggles
did
was on.
all like Nickelodeon and like Cartoon Network.
Yeah. Wiggles was what I mean.
Hot
She's
dog,
always
hot dog,
been,
hot diggity dog. Like,
yeah.
I can't do it.
We've always been a SpongeBob house, though. That's
Yeah.
like eternal. Like, there's never anyone who outgrows SpongeBob. Like, my granny loved SpongeBob. Like, everybody loves
It's just a
SpongeBob.
good show.
My kids did like
yeah.
Team Umizoomi, the Backyardigans.
Yeah, Lily liked the Backyardigans.
What's the one where the guy was like a gymnast and he had that little girl with pink hair? And then Robbie Rotten was the bad guy. What the hell is it? Was a song they sing through the whole thing, basically. Oh, it's gonna drive me nuts.
I don't remember.
Spartacus was the main guy who's like a gymnast. Damn it. It's gonna drive me nuts.
When you figure it out, let us know.
Okay.
I know when I was at daycare, like the kids wanted to watch like what they wanted to watch, but they only watched for 3 seconds. So I'm like, no, I like this children's show, and I can't remember which one it was. But I'm like,
So that's what we're watching.
yeah. So I'm like,
I can tolerate this one the best. So
I'm like, I want to sit here and watch this. You're gonna get up and run and scream and go somewhere else. So this is what we're
Town.
watching. Oh, okay.
Lazy Town.
Lazy Town. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then like Ninja Turtles, Teen Titans, those were all the shows. Like we didn't do like Clifford and Calhoun. What's his Calhoun, the little bald kid or whatever his name.
Caillou.
Caillou. Oh yeah, we
Everyone
never
hates
watched
Caillou.
Caillou.
I watched Caillou growing up when I was definitely too old to do it. And I remember like everybody hated. He was such an
That's why
annoying
you're
kid.
such a brat.
Yeah.
That explains it. No, I'm kidding.
I did like that octopus that Fred Savage voiced. The octopus cartoon. He was
I don't
an
think we watched the
octopus.
same shows as you do.
No, Fred Savage voiced him. I love Fred Savage.
When I was little, I watched Fraggle Rock, Sesame Street, Mr. Rogers.
My Little Pony was my big one.
My Little Pony, Care Bears. I loved He-Man.
And Thundercats.
They put He-Man on I think it's He-Man
Ninja Turtles.
on Netflix, the originals.
I'm gonna have to watch those.
Yeah, I think it's the originals and I think they
She-Hulk.
did new seasons.
But anyways, we were supposed to be talking about sleep.
It doesn't matter. That's what got us here, and that's the topic. So it doesn't matter where we go from there. The point is we started with the topic.
Sleep.
Hey, and I want to say this about sleep. If anybody has to sleep with a CPAP machine and you don't go around telling people that it'll change their life, because you are a flipping liar. I said what I said. I said what I said.
That will change your life.
Yeah, people told me like, oh, you'll never sleep better in your life. Like it'll change your life. You'll feel like a whole new person. You're a liar. Do not tell people that are fixing to get that devil machine.
Oh, you don't like it?
Hell no.
Yeah, I tried a CPAP and I would take it off like 30 minutes into sleeping.
It doesn't. I slept next to somebody who used one. It didn't seem comfortable.
I mean, I'm conditioned to
Anthony
use it now.
has one.
I'm conditioned to use it now, but I literally feel no different whether I use it or I don't. I have to do it for my job.
The biggest need Anthony has with his is that he will keep everyone in the house awake because of his snoring if he doesn't use it. Like we once were at the lake with my parents, and my parents were in the other house that's up there than what we were in, and we didn't take the CPAP machine, and they could hear him in the other house snoring. That's how bad
his snore is that damn loud.
Yes. So he has to wear it so that everybody else can sleep. It don't even matter what kind of health benefits he may get from it. It's so we can sleep.
Does he feel a difference? Does he feel
I don't know.
You haven't asked him?
He hates to use it. So it must not be beneficial enough that he likes it. He hates to use the thing, but
I've heard they're a pain in the ass to clean too.
Yeah.
That's easy. You just don't clean it.
Yeah,
and then you
I
get
don't know that he
infection.
ever cleans his.
I've never had an infection.
Yeah, he
God.
doesn't clean his.
I do need to clean my filter.
He doesn't
And my-
use the water portion of it. He doesn't
don't
add water
either.
to his.
Oh, okay,
He's like,
that's
that's too much
probably-
trouble. I don't feel like
Yeah.
doing all that.
Yeah, I don't do that
My
either.
dad does with his machine. He uses.
If it's really hot and humid in the
cleans his
summer,
and-
I will put a little ice water inside of it
Just to cool it.
I can't stand the hot air blowing in my face.
Yeah.
Oh.
But I had one and I tried to use it. It was before I had my septum fixed. And I had to have the full mask because air couldn't get through my nose. And so it was a big full mask. And it was like 30 minutes every single night. I pulled it off in my sleep. Like I wouldn't sleep with it. So it didn't do any good. Just thousands of dollars of sleep studies and CPAP machine for nothing because I wouldn't use it. So
That's
I
the
couldn't
trouble with those
control what I
things,
do
like-
after I fall asleep. So
You're not missing
It's a-
out on anything.
Yeah, people
well, I
are
don't
like,
need it
they're
now
like,
that I have my nose
oh,
fixed.
you need this. And it's like, yes, but it doesn't work with my lifestyle, so I won't use it. So it's a waste of money for you to give it
No,
to
I
You know what
wanted
I'd-
to use it. I just
You know what's hilarious? Is
off.
the test to see if you need it is crazy. It's like, how can you expect? Because they're just like, they put all these things all over your body, wires down to your thighs, and they're like, all right, just go to sleep like normal. Okay.
all right.
like-
So
with 6 people behind a glass
Right.
window. Just with no-
Just sleep like you normally would.
You're like,
Okay.
My
all
God.
right, so let's wrap this up. First episode of the year, our new season. We hope you like the format where we try to
We
hit a
still
few
ramble
different
and bullshit.
things.
way
we
too much.
still ramble and bullshit way too much, but at least we change topics and it's not one topic that we're rambling and
Yeah.
bullshitting about.
Yeah.
Also, I want to say that me and Gary are pretty active on an app called Shayk, SHAYK sound bites. If you want to find us on there, you can. You can use my referral code, which is Lindsey, or you can use Gary's, which is just Gary, because you have to have a referral to join right now because it's still new. But you can find us on there and get to hear our voice even more.
It's not public, so
It's
you
not
have
public
to use
yet.
you have to use our
You have to use the referral code to
Is
join.
it still only iPhone?
It's still only iPhone. You can, their website is Shayk, SHAYK.io right now. And it's also in the App Store, the Apple App Store. But we're some of the first people on there. So if you want to find us, you can find us on there. And should be going public here soon. Another probably couple months, it'll be public where everybody can join without a referral code. But you want to get in now before that. So I'll drop the link below. If you want to join us on there, you can. And we welcome everyone back to our second season.
Bye.
Bye.
I remember that reminds me of a time I heard, "Oh God, your butthole's so clean."